T-minus about 9 hours till the United States government shuts down. But the House of Representatives just passed the Republican majority's new plan to keep the government open. But here's the thing. The bill they just passed does not include the one thing President-elect Trump really wanted. Because of the way House Speaker Mike Johnson brought this bill to the floor, it needed 2/3 majority. The final vote was 366 to 34. Democrats carried this Republican bill. 196 Democrats voted yes, and 170 Republicans voted yes. 34 Republicans voted no, 0 Democrats voted no. 1 Democrat voted present, and 29 lawmakers did not vote. Before I go any further, I have a video pinned on my page about what happens during a government shutdown, what it means for you, and why we keep hearing about this over and over and over again. Okay, back to the government shutdown issue at hand. The clock is still ticking, and if the Senate does not pass the same government funding bill that the House just passed, by 12:01 a.m. Saturday morning, so just in a few hours, all non-essential functions of the U.S. government will not be operational. House Republicans met for hours this morning and emerged with what they called a new plan to keep the government open. The deal House Republicans reached is actually the same plan that failed last night. It's called the American Relief Act. It includes what's known as a clean continuing resolution. That means it's just a bare bones deal to temporarily keep the government open status quo until mid-March. It also includes about $100 billion for disaster aid to help millions of Americans who were devastated by natural disasters like Hurricanes Helene and Milton. And it includes about $10 billion for farmers for the next year. Fun fact, the bill also includes about $50 million for Trump's inauguration. But what's different about what was voted on last night and failed and what the House just passed right now is the one thing President-elect Trump wanted was not included. The debt ceiling suspension was left out. Now, before you start freaking out in the comments like so many people did last night, you need to understand the facts. The bill that failed last night, basically the same one that just passed right now, is not 1,500 pages. It's actually 118 pages. And for the record, just because the page count was cut down does not mean it's going to cost you, the taxpayer, any less. Don't let a page count fool you. It's also extremely important for you to know the bill that failed last night, basically the same one that just passed, did not, let me repeat, did not include a pay raise for lawmakers, which, by the way, was not a 40% increase. It was a 3.8% increase. It also did not include any funding for a football stadium. In fact, it specifically banned the use of any federal funds for a new stadium for the Washington Commanders. What the original bill did was transfer the control of the land from the federal government to the District of Columbia so the district could negotiate with the franchise to see if they could keep the Commanders in town. But again, none of that was included in the bill that failed last night, and it was not included in what lawmakers just passed. Between me and you, I highly suggest you be extremely careful where you get your information. There are a lot of people who financially gain by lying to you and misinforming you. I have a whole TED Talk about it, and that's on you to decide who is telling you the facts. I suggest a good way to determine that is to just look at someone's track record. If they are continually telling you a bunch of wild stuff that never actually happens, perhaps you should reconsider whether it's smart for you to listen to them, even if you really like them. Back to this government shutdown stuff, I will keep you posted on what the Senate does next and whether or not the government is going to shut down later tonight.